Let's talk about the dog. We have a tier list here of other pets and equipment and what works well with the dog. So stick around to the end because I'll be going over all of these in depth. So first things first, you want the dog as soon as possible. You want to get him ramped up from the start of the game. So if you have 3 of the same pet and can level them up to a level 2 pet, there's a chance you can find a dog on turn 2. It doesn't happen in this case, but always go for the chance if it's there. Early on, the dog works well with the cricket and the sheep, the spider, anything that summons units, as in battle, these units will summon other units and buff the dog temporarily, increasing the chance you'll win those early battles. You can also synergize the dog with the sheep. If you peel the sheep, summoning 2 more sheep, it will buff the dog 2 times, and then you can sell the rams that come out of the sheep for a nice little gold bonus. The same can be done with the cricket and the spider, but this isn't as effective as there's only 1 unit being spawned rather than the 2. The number 1 strategy to use with the dog is buying and selling units. Units that have a buy or sell trigger and give you a bonus when they're bought or sold are the top priority here. So whenever you see an otter or a pig or a beaver or a cow, buy that pet, sell it, and you'll be loving life. Your dog will be loving life. This especially works well with the shrimp, as every time you sell a pet, it gives a random pet +1 health. So you can gain even more bonuses by selling and buying pets. Early on, you want to put garlic armor on the dog, as pets will generally be lower in stats and you can negate a lot of damage that way. You can punch through several things at once. Later on, you'll want to put Melon Armor on the dog, as it's likely your opponent will have 1 big unit at the front which the dog can smash through. This also counters scorpions, as a scorpion will just hit the Melon Armor and not kill your dog. The crab is a dog's best friend. Since you're going to be buffing up this dog over and over again, getting huge health on it, a crab can steal a lot of those stats and work well for your team. You also want to put meat on the crab so it can do a little more damage, since it's only going to be copying the health, not the attacks. It's going to need more attack of its own. This is perhaps the strongest synergy you can get in this game early on. A beefy dog with a crab behind it with meat is practically unstoppable. If you find the dog a little late, it will be a lot weaker, as it takes quite a bit of time to ramp the dog up with the buy and sell strats, so the earlier you get it, the better. If you find it later, consider not buying it and going for a different strategy. But if you do buy it, expect a few losses while you ramp the dog up, so you should have some good health to afford that. Another friend of the dog is the kangaroo. Put a kangaroo behind the dog. Every time the dog attacks, the kangaroo will gain stats, and since the dog has lots of stats, it's most likely going to attack quite a few times. It also works well with the snake. Put a snake behind the dog. Every time the dog attacks, the snake's going to snipe an enemy pet. One of the strongest starts you can get with the dog is with ducks. If you buy lots of ducks in the early game and lose the first couple of fights, but that's okay, since as soon as you find a dog in your shop, you can sell all the ducks you've accumulated, buffing your dog up massively, giving it a huge boost, buying the dog, and now it's got a massive head start. The Swan is a great addition to any dog squad, especially a level 2 one, as it will fund your buy and sell strats. Leveling up the dog is very important, as at level 2 the dog will gain +2 health or +2 attack rather than 1, effectively doubling its power. Generally earlier on it's more valuable to buy and sell rather than roll, but if you do see chocolate, buy it. Another important thing is if you do find a dog and can level him up, just make sure you buy the dog and put it in an empty space first to give the stat bonus to your existing dog, and then combine them. Since you're putting all your eggs in one basket, buffing the dog up more and more, this also works well with other scaling pets which can buff 1 unit permanently. For example, the giraffe. The giraffe is one of the weaker scaling pets, but it'll help a lot on your dog, especially if it has garlic armor in the early game. Dog will also work with the penguin or the monkey. These 2 are especially good with it. And in the expansion pack, the tropical fish and the bluebird work well with the dog. If you do see a turtle, it's also worth buying it. If your dog doesn't have a garlic armor or melon armor yet, you can put the turtle in front of the dog. When the turtle dies, it will give the dog Melon Armor. You can also pill the turtle to give the dog Melon Armor permanently. However, once you make it to the late game, you no longer want to use buy-sell strats with the dog, as this is too slow at this stage of the game. Instead, you'll want to opt for more powerful units to complement your dog. For example, add a dragon in there, buff your entire team. At this point in the game, your dog will also be quite close to 50-50 in stats, so you want to increase stats to the rest of your team instead. Get the rest of your team up to the power level of the dog. For example here, I use the Tiger Cheetah as a nice little combo to deal good damage along with my powerhouse of a dog. So in summary, buy the dog as soon as possible, put garlic armor on him. He works very well with the crab with meat on him. Use buy sell strats, buy things which give you bonuses when they're bought or sold. Use a shrimp with the buy sell strats for even more bonuses. Level up the dog as soon as you can. You can also pair the dog with a kangaroo or a snake rather than a crab. Later on, you want to stop using buy sell strats and adapt to a more powerful surrounding team. You can also buff your dog up more and more in the mid game by using scaling pets like the monkey, the penguin, the giraffe. If this was helpful and you want to see more guides like this, please like and subscribe, it helped me out a lot.